Hello. I am Cassie Brown, and I am thrilled to welcome you to the Amplify My Impact podcast. After years of consulting and managing programs for some of the top entrepreneurs, CEOs, and marketers in the industry, I am on a mission to expand our contribution, to grow, scale, and create more so we can do and give more. This podcast celebrates entrepreneurs who are boldly stepping up to own their calling, expand their influence, and stretch outside their comfort zone, who've decided to stop playing it small, pick up the mantle of contribution, and serve at a higher level, to lead by example and light the way for others. If that's you, then get ready to amplify. There's a fire that burns inside your soul, and we're going to ignite it into a roaring blaze of unstoppable momentum. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Amplify My Impact. I am Cassie Brown, and today I am really excited to share with you our world plan domination for Amplify My Impact and where we're going. So over the last several episodes, we've touched on a few things, and hopefully, honestly, openly, and transparently completely shared my heart. And I know a lot of this also as well is rooted deeply in Jorge's mission to serve at a greater level. We've said it before, and I think I'll just say it again for good measure. We wholeheartedly believe that leaders create leaders. So everything we do, from free publication to the Facebook group to whatever workshops or courses or services and coaching, consulting, like yada, that goes on, like that is the heart and soul and core of our message. Because for us, the ultimate mission is to equip these leaders like yourself, who's listening and taking this time to master your craft and go out into the world and make a difference. It's that quality of leadership that's going to set you apart from everybody else. So in everything that we say and do, like that is our long-term goal. That is our long-term mission, and that is our world plan domination, is to put more impact-driven leaders into action, to activate them to action with so much sense of purpose and responsibility that they are unstoppable with the impact that they can create. So how are we going to do this? Well, I'm glad you asked. First, it's really about just sharing the journey, opening up these conversations, like what we have here on the podcast, our guest interviews, the new series that we're having for the Facebook live streams of amplifiers, and just lifting others up who are boldly stepping into this purpose. So it's sharing our journey and their journey, and that, the overarching theme is like, despite all of the obstacles or roadblocks that came up, because there is no perfect path. There's always a learning curve. There's always something that's going to shape you and nudge you into the direction that you need to go. And it's not always seamless or easy and simple. But by just refusing to give up or to stop, they've made it, and that's why they've made it. And the more that we can get those messages and stories out there, the more seeds that we plant in others to do the same. So that's goal number one, or strategy number one, I would say, because it's going to get us to the ultimate goal. Maniacal laugh. We want people to rise up into impact. So number two, it's just not enough to be aware. Right? So with strategy number one, we're sharing stories and we're planting those seeds, and we are making them aware that there is this spark inside of them and calling to do something more. But when you put number two into practice, into play, it's not enough just to be aware anymore. A few episodes back, when we did the podcast on your obligation, my obligation, right? It should almost feel like a thorn in your side, where it's like, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. And then it's that spur to go on, the spark at this point has become a flyer, a blaze, like a burning, sensation, where it's like, I have to move. There's more for me to do. right? And we want to amplify that. We want to maximize it at every single level, not only in the potential, but in implementation. Because the worst thing that we could do is only make someone aware enough of their potential and they never put it into action. They never take that step to contribute in a way that only they can to the world. All right, so number 2 is that activation, right? They have a burning purpose that must be acted on. So number 3, now we're going to channel that flame into an inferno. We're going to get loud and we're going to be bold in a marketing and message. And that comes through leveraging the results, what we put out into the world. Everyone has their first client, their first beta, their first workshop, or something that they put out there that they've created this proof of concept on, and they gather case studies and testimonials and proof of concept. That's what I'm talking about here. So after we have that, where we have a proven model, a duplicatable system, that's where it really, really, really gets fun. And we're teaching these strategies through the podcast, through our weekly live workshops, through our free learning units in the Facebook group. If you go to Facebook right now, you search Amplify My Impact, you'll find the group, you'll see all of the learning groups. It's 100% free resource. AmplifyMyImpact.com, full of free resources. And that is our mission, right? But we also have products and services that we offered on the paid side, because I'll tell you, our kids are watching. They're seeing all of this time and all of this effort, and we have food to put on the table. We have mortgages to pay. We have greater impact and purpose, and we can't step into that if we're worried about cash flow and revenue. And I think this is where a lot of people get lost in the middle of purpose and being able to transition people from those free resources to the paid options. And it's not for everyone. You know, everyone has an excess of time or money, depending on where they're at in their growing phases. And even with our clients, and it's especially present, even more so in the service-based and impact-driven market. We want to serve, we want to make an impact, and we feel like in making an impact, it's showing up and serving no matter what. And to a certain extent, it is true. But there also is diminishing returns when you serve in a way where you don't give someone else that opportunity to invest in themselves. And I'm going to pause right there for a moment, because that is where it's the switch comes in to the free content to the paid content. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, I would do this all day long for free, but someone's paying for it. My family would be paying for it. Our mortgage payments would fall behind. I hope that makes sense. The sports clubs that we pay for our kids, or the equipment that we need for them to participate in certain things, the donations that we put into the community, the way that we show up and volunteer and serve in other areas of our lives, all of that suffers if there's not a point at which information becomes valuable because of the shortcut in time and implementation. So that's the transition that I also wanted to share with our world plan of domination, because on the paid services side, we have the coaching, we have the consulting, we have the agency. And the biggest difference, and hopefully you guys can see the parallel and how you can do it in your business, with leading with the value, providing that service, always having that opportunity for someone to dig in and to do the work. Those resources for me, especially in anything that I do, will always be available to someone who is ready and willing to do the work, because that's where I came from. That's where I was. When I first got started, I had way much more time than money. So I consumed absolutely every single free resource I could get my hands on. Like, if there was an ad that popped up in my Facebook page for a webinar, I was registering for it. I was watching it. I was consuming it. I was looking at the workbooks. You should even see, part of it is hacking, because I'm a marketing nerd, but I can't even tell you what my inbox looks like now because of all the lists that I'm opted into in the beginning. Like, I could not get enough of webinars and understanding things. Google and YouTube were absolutely my first online classrooms. And then I needed a little bit more. So I joined free groups and communities, and I realized, like, wow, there's other people like me, So like, again, I still have, at this point in time, I still have more time than I do money. So I'm investing my time into areas that are going to grow me, and I'm kind of in that DIY model here. And then I needed more, and I found a private paid group that was a smaller paid group. My first paid community was a $97 a month community with Lindsay Padilla and Emily Hirsch. And it's the best decision that I ever made because it's the one that opened the door to getting the book Expert Secrets, getting introduced to Russell Brunson in the ClickFunnels world, that brought me ultimately just an incredible trove of lifelong friends, resources, understanding, getting the opportunity to coach in the 2 Comma Club program, having the opportunity to invest in myself as a student within the 2 Comma Club coaching program, and ultimately meeting Jorge Vasquez, who is just an incredible friend, mentor, peer, and business partner. Like, I can't even tell you at what point had the path changed, what stood in the balance to not come into reality. So here we are, and that's the journey. And that's pretty much the same point that we want to create for our clients. Like, there's a point within the agency and the coaching that is a level of investment in growing their business and scaling for more impact. And that does come with exchange of value. So when you get to that point of investing in yourself, like, you invest with the intention of getting more value than you put out. And that is what we're creating here with our programs and services for Amplify Coaching and Consulting. And the agency is really taken off. And we get calls every single week for opportunities of partnerships and to map out other coaching programs. And it's just really, really humbling and incredible to see just what is starting to fall into our path just from us getting louder and taking those next steps. So I wanted to lay out that path for you because I know everyone is looking, what is this growth? What does it look like for me to amplify? And I really wanted to share what it looked like for us and what our plan is to amplify. And it's one of those things where wherever you are at, if you're listening to this and you are in that situation where you have more time than money, then please take advantage of all the resources that we have out there for you. Join the mailing list, get on the Friday call list, and attend the workshops. They're free resources. Plug into the Facebook group. There's incredible people there that are just like you, growing an impact-based business and rallying together with that, a rising tide lifts all ships mentality. But if you are at that point where you have a little bit more resources and you can invest to shortcut your impact and the way that you grow and reach the market, take that leap and invest in yourself. That was one of the biggest things that I was able to do to accelerate my business forward. And I don't want you to miss out on that opportunity. Yeah, it's scary. Mine was super scary. 5 figures. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 5 figures invested in a coaching program was more than I had ever. You know what? I didn't even think about it before. So it wasn't like I had considered it and not done it, considered it and not done it. It was the first time something like that had ever been presenting to me, and it was the scariest thing that I did. But I leaped because in knowing that, I didn't want my business to be in the exact same spot 1 year later, and I had an opportunity in front of me to change my outcome, my impact, and the way that I could provide for my family. And I don't want you guys to do the same. So evaluate where you're at. And if you are in that position, it may feel like a stretch. It may feel like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And it is a step of faith, right? But bet on yourself. Don't discount yourself. Don't try to be stuck in a hamster wheel for 6 more months, for a year, for 2 years. I have people that I love so much that they joined the same program that I did and still are struggling after 2 years. And it breaks my heart. And that is honestly a lot of the reason why we shifted some of our focus with the agency and with the coaching to be able to fill the gap for people like that needed someone to come along beside them and understand where they were coming from, what the things are that are holding them back, and help them navigate through them. So if that's you, please take action. Reach out to us, book a call, talk to Jorge, talk to myself, talk to our clients. Join the calls for free if you want to get to know our personalities a little bit or see the way that we work. It's really interesting for anyone that knows us or has worked with us for a long time. You can pick up really quickly that Jorge and I have a two completely different personalities. The way that I approach things and communicate is completely different than the way he approaches and communicates. And he's heard me describe it sort of as like a 1-2 punch. And I love it. It's incredibly effective for not only our clients, but the agency and the other relationships that we're able to contribute to and partnerships and all of that stuff that has come about. And it's not only effective, but it gets things done in a matter that shortcuts dramatically a lot of other things. It just completely cuts through the noise and helps people learn the way that they need to learn, unique to their personality type, for their niche and their market and their message and their mission. Like, it's just incredible the way that it's personalized, but at the same time, we've been able to create systems and frameworks for our own selves that accelerates the process for everybody. So hopefully I've been able to kind of deconstruct what this looks like for you and your business. And if we can in any way, shape, or form help you accelerate that process to get your product out to market, for you to be loud, for you to step up and lead, to be bold and take those steps forward, invest in your marketing and yourself and your development and grow by leaps and bounds, let us help you accelerate that process. Definitely visit amplifymyimpact.com, apply to work with us, and someone from our team will make sure to review the application and schedule an appointment for you to speak with me and Jorge. It's just one of those things. I cannot communicate it enough to just know that the investment in yourself is worth it, because we've got a long-term picture and a long-term plan here on the impact that we want to create, and you're part of that plan. So if we can help accelerate that in any way, shape, or form, we want to do it. And as we've learned before, it is absolutely 100% our moral obligation to make sure that you know all of the resources available to you. And not only that, but that you are doing the same thing in your market with your product and your services to your clients that are waiting for you out there to serve them. It is your obligation to make sure you are doing everything that you can to get in front of them to make a difference. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you've received value, encouragement, and exactly what you need to help keep you in momentum to grow and impact the world around you. Big or small, we all make a difference. Thanks also for subscribing, downloading, and leaving a review. This helps us reach others who need this message in their life. If you know anyone who would benefit from this podcast, please share so you and I can help more people boldly step into purpose. It is my heart's mission to help and encourage others. My internal belief that a rising tide lifts all ships. So much of what we talk about on the podcast is leading with value and building relationships through service. So we've created a collection of resources for you to continue growing, whether you are just getting started or ready to scale your business. Visit amplifymyimpact.com for show notes, downloads, programs, and more information about how to directly work with our team to amplify your impact and change the world.